Okay, so if you found your way to this video, you're obviously looking for the talkbox effect. Similar to what Daft Punk use, I know KixX use it, and a ton, and I mean a ton of people use this effect. Sometimes they use it as layering, other people use it as like full front vocal takes and stuff, and it's a brilliant effect. And I'm going to show you my rendition of well, not a rendition, but something that I've used it in. And you can decide for yourself if it's something that you're interested in.
So say goodbye to your life. No second questions, no time to cry. The ending has begun to slowly unfold.
Okay, so that's basically an idea, and that's something that I did. Obviously, that was a demo. It's pretty poor because, like many of us who produce music, I start a project myself, and then I get wrapped up in doing things for other people or producing stuff for those, or I end up just starting a new song. So that is unfinished, but nevertheless you get the idea. But you can use that effect for pretty much anything. You can use it going through something like Serum, like I've got loaded up kind of thing, like something really gritty low end bass kind of thing, and get this demonic transformer kind of sound voice. Or you can use it for like going through pads and stuff and get that really nice like epic tuned choir sound, I guess. I mean, I'm spitballing here kind of thing, but you get my ideas kind of thing. All right, so basically we'll jump in, and basically what we want to do first is we want to bring in an audio track. Okay, and just set that up properly. Okay, so there we go. I've got my audio track in so I can record my vocals. Now you can obviously just bring in an audio track or a sample, for example, and then you can go from there. All right, so the second thing that we need to do is obviously bring in an instrument. Now I've already got my instruments lined up, but obviously you're going to whatever DAW you're using, load up your standard synth that you go to, I don't know, FMA, Serum, like anything that you want basically. Because that's just going to be the carrier. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got various different amounts of instances here. So I'm using Massive, Serum, Nexus, Silent, etc. And I've got different sounds kind of thing. I mean, I've got this like pad sort of chord sound here, and then I've got some like gritty bass stuff up here and arps and stuff, which I'm going to show you, which you can use to get various different sounds kind of thing. So what I'll do is, first of all, I'll make sure that this is not too loud. I'm pretty sure I already turned the master down. Yeah, so hopefully it won't be too loud. All right, cover your ears, but I'm gonna play you this bit first. Pretty simple chords, like nothing special. Okay, so what you want to do is, obviously you'd have your vocals and stuff. So I am going to quickly try and record something quickly here for you. Now, what I will point out is when you're recording vocals, it's not so much matters about being in tune as much if you're going to use like a talkbox effect, because obviously you're going to be singing through the synth. So the synth is going to be the tune, basically. So I could be talking right now, and then I could play it through the talkbox effect, and it would all be in tune. But what I can express is you want to articulate what you're saying a lot better than what you'd normally do, I guess. So pronounce things a lot. Obviously, when you're doing this, you can have lots of S's and stuff on the start and ends of your words and phrases or singing. So you might want to whack on like a DS onto your audio track, just to control those a little bit. So basically, I'm going to record something now. You can hear my terrible singing voice, and then we'll go from there. This is my talkbox. is my tutorial. This is my yeah, pretty bad, but that's beside the point. Alright, so let's get to it. So the next part that we need to do is we are going to add in a group channel. And we want that coming out stereo. So now we've got the group channel, wherever it's gone. It's up here, group 3. Alright, there we go. And I am going to label this talkbox. Done. Alright, so we've got our massive chords and we've got our cruddy vocals. So what we want to do is you want to go into the instrument, and what you want to do, instead of it being stereo out, you want to send that into your talkbox. Well, your group channel, but the group channel that we've labeled talkbox. Yeah, you get me. You're following. Don't worry. All right, and also you want to go to your audio track and send that to the talkbox as well. All right, so now when we solo the talkbox track, this is my talkbox effect, we get both playing. Happy days. Alright, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my audio track and I am just going to throw on just a little bit of EQ. So I'm just going to take out a bit of the, where are we, 200, yeah, a bit of the bass. I'm just going to up the, I don't want you. Which one are you? That one. Just going to up the high ends a little bit, and I'm also going to bring out the mids a little bit as well, just above the 500. For some reason, I find that it always brings out the articulation in the voice a little bit better, and obviously you can go in and then add a compressor as well, just to try and keep all the volumes as much the same as possible. There we go. Alright, so that's all sorted on the audio track. Massive. I mean, you can go into this and then probably add a bit more high end or mids, depending on what you want, basically. Alright, so enough of that. I'm blubbing. Right, let's get to the group track. So you load up your talkbox group channel and then you scroll down until you find the MDA talkbox plugin. Now, I will link it in the description. It is a free plugin, and you get a host of other ones. I've used a couple of them. They're pretty good. They're pretty simple as well. But the talkbox effect is the one that I use just because it's simple to use and it does the job. I mean, I know there are others out there that do the job as well, but you know what I mean. So basically, we've got the talkbox loaded up, and what you want to do is drag it over to 200% wet. So now that is set up, and then the final part is you want to go to your instrument track, so your massive track, and then you want to pan that all the way to the right. Then you load up your audio track and you want to pan that all the way to the left. So you've got your audio signal going into the left, and then you've got your carrier, which is the massive instance or whichever synth you're using, coming in through the right. And then that is going into this, your group channel, and then that is going into the talkbox effect, and voila. So I've got that soloed. So if I silence my voice and press play, I get nothing. Likewise, if I solo my voice, I get nothing. But if we put them together and press play, this is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial. This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial. So you get the idea. You can hear that talkbox effect coming through. And what I normally do as well is I would probably put another compressor underneath this talkbox effect just to try and keep that more in line as well. And just keeps it all relatively the same volume, because they can be a little tricky to control. As well with the vocal track as well, like I said, you want to articulate what you're saying a lot better than what I've done, so it brings it out more. And Also, if you've got any breathy parts like here and here, you want to go in and chop those out. Purely because obviously the synth is, the talkbox effect is going to pick that up. And so you're going to have that being carried through. So you can have those weird like breathing in bits, but breathing in tune, which is pretty weird. So you don't want that, man. So we'll get rid of those. And like with any sample kind of thing, you just fade them in slightly. And you can go into more detail going in here, and then every like big note that you have, if it's too pronounced or whatever, you can like fade that in slightly and fine tune it so it's a lot better. So then if we listen to it now.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
So you can hear those bits where I've gone, duh, and then, proper pronounced it kind of thing. It's coming through. But you can always fine tune and go in there and alter everything. Sorry, I need my coffee, man. I need to wake up because it's only midnight, man. Come on, jeez. So you got that idea going on. So you could, but there's no limit really what you can do. I mean, I can take, for example, this serum track. If I show you what I've got. So now if I was going to go in and I was going to route that to my talkbox as well, and then pan that to the right. So now instead of the chords, I've got that.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
That's pretty rad. But basically, as well, I mean, obviously on your talkbox effect, that's probably where you do more of your fine-tuning, EQing. So I can hear there's quite a lot of bass coming out. I mean, sometimes like, if you wanted to, I mean, you could like, hype up the low end and then bring out all of that. So then basically all I've got is just someone talking through the sub. And then you could like write automation to bring it back in and stuff. And, that could be a pretty cool effect as well. Basically what I was going to do, yeah. I'm just going to take out a little bit of bass on the actual talkbox effect itself. And I think this is such a crappy mic though, so yeah, it's such a terrible microphone, so I'm going to put a de-esser on there as well. Oh my god. But you get the idea. I mean, you can go in and fine tune it, etc. So now that I've got that one instance of serum up, if I bring down this second instance, and I shall play you what that sounds like. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to pan that to the right, and then I'm going to send that to the talkbox as well. At the same time, I'm going to play the other one. So now we're going to have two effects playing over that vocal. Let's see what it sounds like.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
So you can get a really weird demonic sound. I mean, like I said, there's no limit to what you can do. I mean, I've got a drum sample here. I've never done this before, and I don't think it will work too well. But hey, for tutorial's sake, let's give it a go. So this is me singing through drums.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
you can hear it a little bit, but I don't know, maybe you could use that effect as well. I mean, like, certainly you got your drum loop going kind of thing, and maybe you could do like a talkbox effect, take out all the bass kind of thing, and then just bring in more of the mids. So you could kind of hear it in a track, maybe like in a build-up part or something, and that could work pretty well. You don't know, man. You know, like there's no end to what you can do with this effect. I mean, that's why I like it so much. But obviously you need to sit there and spend time like fine-tuning everything, your compressors, etc., this, that, and the other, because it can be very temperamental, as I found. Again, we'll try something else. Let's see what this is. I think this is like an ARP. Alright, sorry about that. See, a lot with distorted sounds, you kind of lose bits in the talkbox, purely because there's so much going on. But you'll hear bits of this, but it won't be as prominent.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
So you can hear, but then like if you combine all three.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
And then you can go in, and then you could probably throw in a reverb on the talkbox effect. So after it's gone through the talkbox, let's put something simple. So it's going to be echoey and messy and.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
So yeah, you get the idea. You can pretty much do anything with this. I mean, but I always find, like for example, if I load up this instance of Massive, if I go to open the sound, I do have some talkbox effects. So say like you've got like a wavering lead sound. That's what I've came up with. That's the instance. I mean, I can leave that in description if people wish, but you will have to let me know. So I'm going to play on the keyboard, and then you'll hear it.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
See, like the single waves, like saw waves, with the less distortion, you kind of get, you can start hearing that more Daft Punk sound. Obviously, I think they would probably do each take on different tracks, kind of thing, and then layer them together, and then chop out bits that they don't need, etc. But hey, I don't know how those guys work. And I'll show you another instance that I've got. I mean, this is where I've gone in and then I've messed around and fine-tuned and found stuff that actually, properly works with the talkbox effect. So this is like a deep bass sound. So let's see what happens.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
See how low we can go.
This is my talkbox effect. This is my tutorial.
Pretty cool. There's no limits to what you can do there. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. And like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to the MDA Talkbox plugin, and you guys can have at it, upload, and come up with something, man. You never know. Good luck. Goodbye. Not today.